All right, welcome. My name is Peter from GoPeter Hosting, and today we're going to look at how to open up a hosting account for your website, and we'll cover a couple of additional things that you might need to know as you go along choosing the company that you want to host your website with. Now, you don't have to host your website with us. You can host it with any company out there. We've just got our own hosting platform because it makes it easier for us to work on the back end for our clients whose websites we build and host. So, and I'm going to use our hosting platform as an example, and it should look more or less the same with anybody else that you want to use. So I'm just going to go to type in gopeter.co.za. And what you'll notice is that it redirects to GoPeter Online, and that only means that we've got two domains pointing at the same website. So once you're on the website, you can go to Store, and we're going to go to Domains first. A few things I want to cover on domains. Alright, you can search for your domain on the home page, or you can go to this page to search for the domain that you are looking for. What I want to point out to you quickly is we've got various extensions, and if you click on all these tabs at the top here, make them all green, you'll just see that there's just so many more extensions coming up. Right, so there you can see there are lots of different extensions, but bear in mind some of them are quite costly on an annual basis, and it's because these are all international extensions. Now, people are not familiar or not that familiar with international extensions yet, but it's something that's slowly growing. And if you're in South Africa, I would recommend that you start with the .co.za because that's the most popular, and it is the South African domain extension to choose from. Right, from there, let's quickly take a look at hosting packages. We're going to look at two packages, our standard hosting packages and the developer hosting packages. Standard hosting packages, they are pretty much the same than most other companies. And they basically build around the size of the storage space that you're going to need, 1 gig, 2 gig, and so forth. Now, this is all what we call shared hosting, and it's all smaller pieces in one big piece. So what people often do is they will, for a few extra rand, they're going to try and sell you a 5 gigabyte site, and you're going to think, oh wow, what a bargain. But they know that you are actually never ever going to use that 5 gig, although you're going to pay for it. Because you see, a normal website uses about 200, maybe 300 megabytes in size, and very seldom would it exceed that. I've built hundreds of websites, and I can't remember ever building a website that exceeded 500 megabytes, except if it's a website like a training platform that stores a lot of training videos on the server itself. Or maybe if it's a photographer selling high-resolution images, and then it has to be a lot of images before you're going to exceed 500 megabytes in size for your website. Right, so for a normal website, you're going to need about 200, maybe 250 megabytes in size, and then some additional space for some email accounts. So that would be for one domain. Some people have two domains, or they would use a two-domain account and they will have their website on the one domain and then use another domain to play around with. But on any of these hosting packages, you've got more than one SQL database, which means you can set up a subdomain and then you can install WordPress on the subdomain, and that's where you can actually play around with. I would recommend that if you're going to start playing around with more than one website at the same time, at least start with a basic hosting package. It gives you some extra space to work with. Right, and then we also have our developers hosting packages. What makes this very unique, and I don't think there's another company that does this, is we include Elementor Pro as well. That's a plugin and it's a page builder. You'll learn about that in some of our other videos. Then there are two themes that you can choose from, paid themes called Futura Pro or GeneratePress Pro, and we'll cover them just now. So these are all included in the developers packages, and it's just going to help you to build a professional website from the moment that you start learning how to do so, rather than running around in circles trying to use free plugins, etc., and it really just wastes a lot of time. So let's just go for gold straight away. Let's just quickly have a look at what this Elementor Pro and stuff is. I'll just open a new tab. We'll go to elementor.com, and while that's opening, let's go to GeneratePress. Oh boy, spelling. GeneratePress.com. Let that open up. Another tab will go to futurewp.com. Alright, so let's just quickly take a look at Elementor, what the pricing is. Alright, so it has a free version, and you can do quite a lot with the free version, but the Pro version has absolutely everything that you need built into it, especially the theme builder. And this is where I'm going to teach you to build your own themes rather than using various types of themes. It also has a pop-up builder and a lot of different functions that you can choose from, so this would be included in your hosting package. Then GeneratePress. This is perhaps one of the fastest themes on the market, but what makes it so unique is the fact that all the various functions that you can pick from to change and alter certain aspects of your website is all included in this. And I haven't seen a different theme that has more adjustable functions in it than GeneratePress, and we use GeneratePress to build all our dynamic websites with. And we also have, oh yeah, what does that cost? Go to premium. I think that's $40. That load, go down, and there we go. That's $40 for GeneratePress. Then we've also got Futura Pro, which is the nice thing about Futura Pro is, let me just show you quickly, it has a lot of demos that you can import, and what's nice about this is it actually imports the entire website with images, the whole you can set up an e-commerce site in a matter of minutes, and I'll show you in our next video exactly how you can do that and set up an e-commerce site within seconds. Right, the pricing on this Futura Pro, it's a Pro version, is also $40 per year. Alright, so we can close that. So basically you've got a choice between the two. That's about $90 included in the developer's hosting package. Alright, so let's quickly look at how we're going to set up a hosting package. I recommend that you go for this, especially if you're going to need some extra space to learn how to play with different things. Right, simply just order that, click on order, and it will ask you firstly for your domain name. So we're going to choose a new domain, but if you do have a domain at a different company, you can transfer your domain to us. If it's a .co.za, there's no fee involved in transferring, it's free. Just bear in mind, some of the hosting companies do ask a 30-day notice period, and prior to transferring your domain, make sure that you log into your hosting account where you currently have your domain hosted, and make sure that you have access to the email address that's listed on that account, because once the transfer goes through, the registrar will send in a ticket to that email address which you need to accept in order for the transfer to go through. And we find a lot of clients don't have access to that anymore, so then it becomes a huge struggle for us to try and transfer their domain because they don't have access to the email address that they originally registered the domain with. Right, so here all we're going to do, I'm going to put in there test 1 2 3 4 5. I don't think there's something like that available, or nobody's using something like that. Click on check and it will show, there we go, it is available. We're going to go and add a .co.za domain. Click on add and it shows add it to your cart. Click on continue, and then it shows your hosting package that you've chosen. Click on continue, and there it shows both. Bear in mind that your domain registration shows you a renewal of 75 Rand per year, so it will have an annual renewal fee. And then this is your hosting package, which will be a monthly fee. Simply click on checkout. And what's important here is that you fill in the correct details, because this is the details that will be used to register your domain on your own personal name. We do not register your domain on our business name. It's your domain and it belongs to you. Most important would be the email address, like I mentioned before. If you are working at a company, best that you don't use that account, because within a year or two you might not be there anymore and you won't have access to that email address. And if you want to transfer your domain away from us in future, you will need to have access to that specific email address that you're going to put in there. So best advice would be to open up a Gmail account and rather use that for future purposes. Right, simply complete the whole form. I'm not going to do that now. I've already opened up this account. Fill in all the details and then proceed to check to the payment gateway. And once you've paid, then you will be redirected back to our website. Once you're back at the website, what we'll just show you quickly, just go to the top and click on login and fill in your email address and the password that you used within your registration process, and then simply log into your account. And there we go. So on the next video we're going to take it from this step further on. We'll show you what to do from there on.